The later years, the parade changed. In the beginning, we used to walk to Prospect Park. Then we used to walk to Lincoln Terrace Park, which is on Buffalo Avenue, which is a park. And then it changed that there was a parade in the high school down on Rutland Road. And then for the last two parades, which I remember, there was a fair on Empire Boulevard. And actually, that was one of those two parades where I was in charge of. There was a lot of people by the parade, and afterwards, the Rebbe came to the fair, drove through the whole fair to see how it was made. Also, the Rebbetzin came to the fair and drove by and checked it out to see what was there. And the interesting story was I met Shalom Gansberg, and I told him, it's very interesting. Every mother, every father, every child, boy and girl are going to be by the parade. And the only one who's not by the parade is the Rebbetzin. So he told me, well, maybe she wasn't invited. So I said, well, okay, I'm inviting her to the parade. The next thing I knew, about a half hour later, Shalom Gansberg called me and told me, Benjy, the Rebetzin's coming to the parade. And she stood in the library and she watched the whole parade. And that's when also she went around on Empire Boulevard and checked out the fair. And I heard an interesting story, and then I realized it was my nephews who used to go to the Rebbetzin, and they told the Rebbetzin they went on the Ferris wheel, and they got stuck on the top. And the child told the Rebbetzin she was so scared the boy said he was so scared for being on top that he screamed out Shema Yisrael. The Rebbetzin told the story to Rabbi Hecht, he was in charge of the parades, and Rabbi Hecht told me that when the Rebbe called him in after the parade, the Rebbe told him, he thanked him for everything, and the Rebbe said a few things. One of the things was that he heard there was a boy on top of the Ferris wheel that was screaming Shema, so the Rebbe said, for that alone it was Kedai. And then the Rebbe also said that on all the parades they should be careful only to use kosher animals.